Hi guys, welcome to some grade 7, 8 and 9 analysis on checking out my history. It's not everything. If you need everything, check out my YouTube channel. It's just to focus on some single words. If you want a grade 7, 8 and 9, you have to say a lot about a little. Every kid's going to analyse them. Just make sure that you talk about how it's phonetic spelling, and he obviously is misspelling them on purpose because it's his accent, and it's really showing you how proud and confident how confident John Agard is with his own identity and the fact that he won't conform to British society. And remember, that starts the poem, which foreshadows the ending, as well as like a link when he says he's carving out his own identity. When you move through the poem, we come to Bandage. Bandage obviously represents being blind to something. It symbolically represents ignorance, that we bandage his eyes so he can't see the past of the black people. The ignorance, though, there is twofold, because it's the ignorance of us as white educators who he thinks are avoiding teaching him about the Zulus and about revolution and about slavery. So bandage becomes more important. And if you go to the 16th century and where the word came from, it comes from the word band. So again, we've got that notion of a band which can link to the word bandage and injury. And injury obviously suggests pain, which links you back to the black culture, which is obviously one that is tightly linked to suffering. Moving on, eye is huge, and he mentions the eye. Symbolically, in Western society, it represents deceit and therefore lies. That's interesting because he thinks he's being lied to, in terms of that we've just ignored the fact that black people have ever existed and just taught him about white culture. And then it also represents judgment and authority. So symbolically, the eye there is the fact that we judge him because he's entered our culture and he's black. Remember, this was years ago. And the authority of white people over black people has been something that's lasted throughout history. That takes it obviously to the emotive word slave, you know what that means, and the fact that that is his background and is his culture. When you link that to the fact that he feels like he's trapped in bandage now, then there's almost a suggestion that he's being treated in that way now because white people are arguably mistreating him. He brings in powerful words associated with black people like Zulu and Nanny de Maroon and revolution, and all of these are protests. John Agard protested quite a lot in his poetry with half caste and with this in terms of promoting the rights and the identity and the individuality of black people. Revolution, obviously, to stand up against something, again takes you back to what black people have had to deal with, which links to the Zulus and the fact that they had massive wars and battles with the white British Army. He also intertwines the lexical field of healing and bravery and freedom and all these empowering words that show us what these famous black people have done. The sad irony of this poem is that we don't know who these black people are. I even had to research them, Nanny de Maroon and C. Cole. The fact that they are probably more famous than Florence Nightingale, have done better things than Florence Nightingale. The nurse, don't forget, was told that the white people were going to kill her if she helped us, and she still helped us. So you've got to start thinking about healing, brave, freedom. This notion of freedom river is a massive metaphor. A river is obviously something that flows. It's something that is natural. So we've got the freedom of black people linked to something natural, and also linked to, as I say, something that should flow within society. So think about bandage, eye, slave, Zulu. It's heavily emotive. It's interspersed with that dem. So he's really angry. And don't forget that he changes his font for the blacks versus the whites, and you can see that there is a mental divide, there is an educational divide, and unfortunately for John Agard, he still experiences some sort of racism in terms of his culture. Not an accident as well that the poem is checking out my history and it ends with the word identity, and look at that use of enjambment all the way through. Again, this was very quick and very fast, so check out my longer video if you need it, and massive good luck in your English literature exam.